Alright guys, is your boy Watchman Chris. I had a brief dream, a very brief dream, whereby I saw like soldiers on the floor, on the ground where I am, and then it looked like there was like a total chaos everywhere. I don't know which soldiers was that. I don't know which military personnel was that. If it was if it was military personnel of this of the United Kingdom, or if it was that of a foreign nation, I don't know. But all I knew was there was like a total chaos on the ground and everyone was just running at a scatter. And after that, I had this dream. In this dream, I was standing in something that looked like um, the shore. I was standing like in the seashore, right? So I was standing like in the seashore. So I could see the country of Russia. So Russia became so close to the United Kingdom, if you get what I mean. So in that dream, I was wondering, how is Russia that close to the United Kingdom? This is strange. This is weird. I'm standing here. I could see Russia, the country Russia, standing there, like just being demarcated by water, or just standing there. And then I saw that. And the next thing I saw was when I observed into the water that was right in front of me, I saw something that looked like flashes of light coming out from the water. At this time, I didn't even think maybe I didn't even know what these flashes would have been, or maybe what these flashes of light are. But you know, when you look at the water, then you look at when you look like towards the end of the water, so it seems like you can see the ending of that water, but you can't really see the end. It's not really the end, literally, but I could see something that looked like flash and lightning coming out from there. Not lightning, literally. It's like flashes of light going up. They just keep shooting out from the water. Like flash of light, something that looked like yellow light and stuff like this. They were really going out of the water really fast. But when they're going out, I didn't see where they were landing. But they're just going out, basically. So I was wondering what's going on. And then the next thing I saw after that was I saw a very mighty statue. I don't know if I should call it a statue, but I saw a big image of Putin standing in that water, and he was standing in front of Russia. So Putin became so big, his image was way bigger than that of the Statue of Liberty. He was standing so mighty in that water. So it looked like Putin stood in front of his country, and then in his foot, the water was now literally in his foot. The water that looks like a sea of water was now just like, it looked like it was just barely going past his foot, basically. So I was confused what was going on. And then in the dream, obviously, I was standing in my country, in the United Kingdom. So before I knew, the water that Putin was standing on started flowing. It started flowing gradually. It started flowing, spreading out. And before I knew, I was seeing water coming from Putin's feet towards where I was. So it was coming gradually and very, very slowly. It looked like maybe when the water just rushed, like in the beach when water just rushed towards the sand and then go back. And then it started like that. So it goes and it just rolls in. I was like, what is this? This is nothing. And before I knew, that little water that kept coming gradually into my country, before you knew, it started forming a flood. It became a flood. So now it was not a problem. So immediately I knew there was a problem now. So I had to quickly leave where I was standing. So I had to move to like a higher ground. I don't know how to describe where I was standing, but obviously for the fear of that flood, I had to go to a higher ground, like maybe somewhere look like a rocky place. I had to stand on a higher ground so I don't get carried away by that water, if you get what I mean. So from the Bible, obviously we know that water can represent maybe judgment, maybe trouble. It might represent maybe there's trouble or there's judgment coming, according to the Bible. I think water represents different stuff from the Bible, but water coming from Putin's feet, obviously this represents trouble from what I perceive from that dream, because it made me to change location. I had to go to a higher ground. Russia was not supposed to be that close to United Kingdom. Was not supposed to. And Putin was standing so big that underneath his feet there was water flowing into my country. So after that dream, another day, I had another dream. And this time, I saw myself walking with a friend of mine, a secondary school friend of mine. And the name of this friend of mine, his name, the meaning of his name means moving forward. That's the meaning of his name. I don't have to tell you the tribal name. So it means moving forward. That's the meaning of his name. So he and I, we stood somewhere. And then we started going somewhere. And this friend of mine, in the dream, I haven't seen him for a while. And in reality, I haven't seen him for a while. I don't know his whereabouts. But I saw him. And then we started going towards like a direction. So when we got to this certain location, and then I saw these people that I have never seen before. I don't know these people. But somehow, he managed to know these people. And these people, they were speaking a different language. I'm like, I don't understand what these guys are speaking. And somehow, he was communicating with these people. And then he stood in a place that looked like a little podium. Somehow, they tend to welcome this guy so well. So he was just so fluent in the language he was speaking. So I was even shocked. I was like, how did you learn to speak this language? And what language is this you're speaking? And then when he stood on that podium, the only thing I heard from his mouth that he kept saying was Grozoviye, Grozoviye, Grozoviye. I was like, my God, what is this word, Grozoviye, Grozoviye? That's the only word I could pick from what he was saying. So he kept repeating that word, Grozoviye. So when immediately I woke up from that dream, I quickly took a pen and wrote it down. I said Grozoviye. I was like, what's the meaning of this dream? What's the meaning of this word, Grozoviye? I don't know. I don't know the language you were speaking. So when I woke up the following morning, I was like, what kind of language could this be? Because I don't know. I've never heard this word before. I don't know what it sounds like. My best guess was it might be Polish. Maybe it just might be Polish, man. I don't know. But so I left it right there. So along the line, I did a research of that word, Grozoviye. I'm going to put it up there so you can see you literally see the word. I did a research of the word Grozoviye. And lo and behold, just the way I saw it, that was the way I put it right there. And the word turned out to be a Russian word. That word turned out to be a Russian word. I kid you not, man. I lie you not. The way I saw that word, the way I heard that word is the same way I wrote down that word. And it was a Russian word. And the meaning of that word, I think it might mean different stuff because, depend on maybe, I don't know, maybe which source you use. But the meaning of that word was like, you know what? Thunderstorm. Trouble. So basically, it wasn't that hard for me to puzzle it together because, we all have dreams and we all have our different ways of interpreting our dreams. Like me, when I have my dreams, the people I see in my dreams are very significant. The names I see in my dreams are very significant. Very, very significant in my dream. So if I need to interpret the dream, the names, the people in that dreams, sometimes the location of that dream matters a lot. So after that, then I knew that indeed, moving forward, Putin is going to become a big trouble. I don't know. It doesn't seem likely, but this is what I was shown. And I believe I had this vision from God. I didn't ask for it or anything. I've never asked for anything about dreams or vision or something like this. You understand? So he shows it. I believe he revealed the things that are going to happen. You understand? Because the Bible says, "Abate when the Spirit is come. He should guide you into all truth. He shall not speak of himself, but whatsoever he shall hear, that he shall speak, and he shall reveal to you the things to come." So, putting everything together, the only thing I could come up with, the only thing I could, obviously, the obvious fact is, Putin is going to be a trouble. He's going to be a problem, possibly to everyone. Putin's going to grow so big. He's going to grow so big, even bigger than his country. Or, I don't know if that's right to say. But he's going to grow so big that he's going to become a problem to literally everyone. And is eventually going to be a problem to this country, to the United Kingdom. I know it doesn't look likely, but you know, in that dream, that's what I saw. I'm just telling you what I saw. So problem or trouble was flowing from Putin's feet to this country, the United Kingdom. It started gradually, but then it came like a flood to this country. Does it seem likely? Sometimes the odd might just be very, very low, but you know, God does stuff in his own way. You don't ask him. He shows you stuff. He knows way ahead. He knows what is going to happen. So that's why I saw. So I'll say pray for this country, the United Kingdom. Pray for the world at large, because if Putin can literally, you know, become a problem to the United Kingdom, that means he's become a problem to everybody, literally. That's what I'm saying. That means he's becoming a problem to literally everybody, because I saw him grow so big. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know. And I saw a problem on the ground in this country. So if you are from this country, if you're not from this country, wherever you're from, ask, you pray for this country. You get yourself to a higher ground, because when that time comes, when trouble comes, you need to get to a higher ground, obviously. So you have to put your life in place, put your life in order, because I believe at some point the peace that we are enjoying at some point, it might just, disappear into thin air. In the blink of an eye, everything can change really fast. And the life that you used to have before, the life that you used to live before, the peace that you used to enjoy before might just evaporate just like that. And right now, you can't see it coming, you can't fathom it coming, you can't think about the idea in your head, but everything is possible. Everything is possible. Yep. I pray this message meets you well. You can drop a comment, you can like, subscribe, and God bless you. And I hope to see you next time. You have a nice one. Shalom.